the disjoint nature between the public and private life, and I'm in agreement with you in as much as if you have a passion in your private life, that should overflow in your public life, as to not like destroy yourself.
That's right.
What do you think we can do as a Christian community and body to better love our fellow human beings and just to reach out to them on a more co-planar level rather than a more
adversarial type thing?
Yeah, like a complex, like we're better than you, or any view of that.
I appreciate that. Well, one of the reasons I have hope in this thing is precisely because of people like you who are in universities, professors who are at universities who are followers of Christ. You know, this is part of the price we pay for the way we abused the times when we had freedoms to do that and sort of collared people and pounded them into belief. I mean, you do not enforce a community of faith with the methods that we have used. You know, recently I was asked to speak at the Mormon Tabernacle in Salt Lake City, Utah. I was there, the first evangelical they'd asked in 100 years. In 1899, D.L. Moody spoke there. You should have seen some of the vitriolic letters that I got from very pious people. I got more books on the subject than I ever wanted to collect. My library has increased tremendously. And I say to myself, why such outrage by a community of grace? It didn't make sense to me. And my answer was, hey, I have spoken across chasms of belief all my life. I'm not going to change now. I said, you want to throw me into some other horrific worldview, I'll put my hand up first and say, I'm going to go. The Christian has to learn that it is not only his or her message, but also his or her method. If the method is in violation of the message, the people see it very quickly. I have found more people objecting to the Christian than they really do to Jesus Christ. When you exalt the beauty of Christ, I tell you what, no one ever lived like him. No one ever spoke like him. No one was ever so compassionate to sinners as he was. No one ever welcomed the outcasts as he did. He set the law on a higher plane, but his mercy was also in proportion and keeping with it. He knows how to humble us without humiliating us and how to lift us up without flattering us. He gives you the true essential nature of your worth. There are places and settings in which you stand up and defend the faith. There are places and settings in which you know it is inappropriate to be doing it here. And so I say to you, the way you do it is exactly in settings like this. Look, I'm honored. When I come to a place like this, I die a couple of deaths before I come. Why? What am I going to say to 2,000 to 3,000 people? To take 2 hours of their time? And I just go on my knees and say, Lord, I'm not worthy of this. But the fact that you are here is at least out of a courtesy to say, we want to hear what you have to say about such important issues. And in settings like this where you debate or have open forums, in sitting around a table and discussing, in England we go into the pubs and the bar rooms till 11 and 12 at night. In India, I speak to the film actors community. This year I'm to speak to the political community. Last year I had the privilege of addressing the United Nations. People are hungry. It's how we do it. And sometimes we blow it. Sometimes I've walked away and said, I ought not to have put it that way. So just be wise, be careful, and God will honor your faith. There's a recent article in the New York Times which says, God is dead, we need to be dancing on his grave. He doesn't know there's nobody in that grave.